morning. Welcome back here at ESCMID Global TV. I am Judith Cohen. I'm your host here at ESCMID Global TV. And we are back with yet another live interview. And not with one, but with two people who are both speakers at the upcoming Open Forum, which is today at 12:15 to 1:15 in Arena 3. And it's an Innovation Forum on Diagnostics Development. So with me, I have on my far left, I have Dr. Silvia Bertagnolio, who is an infectious disease specialist from Italy, but also acting as the unit head of AMR at the WHO located in Geneva, Switzerland. So a warm welcome to you. And we are welcomed by Dr. John Rex, also an ID specialist, physician, and drug developer from Wellesley, USA. So welcome to you both.
Thank you.
I'd like to have a little chat about the upcoming Open Forum. Maybe we can attract our viewers to also joining in. The more interaction, the better, of course. It'll be on innovations in diagnostics. John, do you care to share what you're hoping to hear or to experience?
Well, when I think about the use of diagnostics in my world, where my focus is on the new antibacterial and antifungal pipeline and ensuring that we actually have things, I'm looking for data from diagnostics that inform the long-term direction of that kind of work. You need to know what kind of resistance is coming, and that helps you select the type of research programs that you might put more or less weight on by thinking about that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And collecting that sort of data is a huge global effort, and we've not been as systematic as we need to be about it. And so when I think about innovation, some of it's about just process level innovation to collect data. Some of it's about simpler tests. But it's this whole idea of creating tools that actually will generate data that will drive changes in policy.
How would you like it to be more systematic, the approach towards new innovations?
Country by country, state by state within those countries. Right now, in some countries, you have pretty good granular data, and others you have nothing. You have to infer a great deal of the information. And inference is, that's okay, but it's actually better to have the real data by region, because that will help each region to understand what their policies ought to look like. It feeds into things like, how do you shape your national action plan for managing drugs? What drugs do you want to be sure you have on your formulary?
Yeah. Silvia, I see you nodding in agreement.
Yes, no, absolutely.
This resonates with you?
Totally. So I think we need to have better data. We have to also have better patient management as well. So surveillance and patient management really goes hand in hand. And when we speak about innovation, I think it's important to have diagnostics that are fit for purpose, that are patient-centered, and can improve quality of life and outcomes of patients. Yeah. At the same time, innovation is not only new diagnostics, new development, but innovation is also doing things we are already doing better. Mm-hmm. So optimization, improvement of efficiency. And so there are a couple of examples of innovation that are not new things, but done in a better way. For example, we have two products that have been developed by MSF that have the low-income settings, for example, design in mind. One is called AntibioGo, which is an IT tools that allow us to interpret AST, susceptibility testing easily in setting with limited capacity, limited resources. And another one, also promoted by MSF, is called Mini Lab, which is a lab that can be mobile and used in setting where there are refugees, in high-risk settings, in remote settings. So this is also innovation, and I think we need to bring this up because 80% of the population live in low and middle-income settings. 50% of the population lives in low-income settings, where capacity is very, very low.
Yeah, and it's really easy to just look from your view of your high income country that you often are working yourself. So that's a very important remark. Is it the innovations that will be on the innovation forum? is it spread out? So it's not just new tests or point-of-care tests, but it's also, as you say, the mini labs or different kinds of innovations. Is it that diverse?
It's diverse, but let me point at one other sort of deeper layer of the video game, if you will. So Silvia's comment was about sort of a very patient-specific, patient-centered
Yeah.
day-to-day care. My comments were sort of at a broader
Yeah.
global data policy level. In both cases, you've got to be willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
And the cost of doing a diagnostic test, I mean, it costs some dollars. It also costs some time. It may require a day to get a results, and a patient may or may not be able to wait or come back easily to get those data. So the kind of changing the way that we work with these tools, but also making it economically rational to do it, is a big challenge. And there was a whole project recently that's been run called Value DX that was about articulating why it's worth putting money into a why would any given lab director pay for a diagnostic test?
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to make that case too. So I mean, it's not just the test, it's the using of the test, it's the infrastructure around the test.
Yeah. So you're also looking at the cost-benefit balance.
And how do you measure that? Right?
How do you measure that? That's an important one. Yeah.
And I think you've done a lot of work in the HIV world, where it's pretty clear how to measure the value of getting it wrong, right? And I think that has been a huge advance in that area, is the ability to say, and you also have the ability within a few months to know whether you're on the right track with the therapy.
Totally. So there are other, thanks John, so there are other disease areas, like for example HIV, in which this cost effectiveness analysis has been done successfully and demonstrate the utility of the test. And but also it's important when we develop a test to think about the setting and the population for which the test is needed. For example, for the HIV drug resistance test, is very useful in high-income settings when there is an individualized medicine. And so the best drugs can be chosen based on the result of the test.
Yeah.
In other settings, in low and middle-income countries, drug resistance testing was not part of any guidelines, was not used by any government, not because the cost, well, the cost, of course, is an important component, but because did not fit within the patient care. So in those settings, there is one public health approach for first line and the second line. The patient failed the first line and move to the second line. And there is no or limited cross-resistance between the two lines. So there is not, the utility of the test was not there. No. But in high-income countries was absolutely important and vital. So I think the context is important, the socioeconomic context and the availability of drugs also is important, because that will inform utility of the test.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're really looking at it from a more global level. That's probably because of your work also at the WHO. Is that one of the activities that your division there is actively stimulating?
Yes. So WHO work on AMR and in general with globally on health issue around three main areas. One is about developing norm and standards that are evidence-based. So guidelines, technical documents. The second area is about supporting countries with technical assistance. Really work hand in hand with Ministry of Health to implement and operationalize the guidelines that WHO developed. Yeah. And the third aspect is about convening. We don't have expertise, the whole expertise at WHO. We rely on experts around the world that comes together and provide expert inputs. So for AMR, if we think about these three big areas for AMR are also relevant. So we are working with Ministry of Health to improve the governance of AMR. Who is accountable? Yeah. What is the ownership? Who take responsibility of not moving action?
And you do this worldwide, right?
We will do worldwide, yes. Yeah. We work with all government. What are the financial mechanisms to fund the AMR at country level? Yeah. What are the package of intervention that country needs to implement? starting from prevention, immunization, water and sanitation, infection prevention and control, through the patient journey that goes with the diagnosis and treatment and care. So all this intervention needs to be tackled programmatically to address AMR. AMR is not a single,
No.
A single intervention will not be able to address the AMR.
No, no, that's interesting. Joan, can you just, I was just thinking that maybe our viewers don't exactly know the whole concept of the open forum, or this is an interactive way of educating that the Congress has put in place, really to stimulate the interaction, the connection between, young scientists, biotech companies, and senior researchers, specialists, experts. So can you tell us a little bit more about the whole setup? And do you know as well, are you moderators or speakers?
So
I think you're presenters in the program, but
right, we're both speakers.
how does it work?
So it's being convened by Robert Skov and
Surbi Malhotra Kumar.
thank you very much. And it's, I would say thematically, it's similar to a lot of conversations that are now happening in and around ESCMID. If you were here on Friday afternoon, we had a session where the Global Leaders Group on antimicrobial resistance, actually, I think you led that a
I
little
was
bit.
there. I was moderating.
You were there.
Yeah,
You were there.
yeah.
And what was fun about that was it was a global conversation about science, the intersection of science and policy. And so we had 4 members of the Global Leaders Group, 1 in person, 2 by video, and then Dame Sally with a video, a pre-recorded video chat. And so today's is it's an extension of that concept.
Yeah.
We've brought together somebody who was part of the Value DX project, Till Bachman. We brought together perspectives from a global WHO level. I'm, if you will, I'm kind of on the edge of it, but I'm the developer who wants to know what needs to be done. And I spend a lot of time with the WHO and their antibacterial and antifungal pipeline review projects. And so my focus is on being sure that we're thinking about where we need to go, and that comes back to our earlier conversation about why does all this innovation matter. So it's a nice idea about having these chats where you bring together people who might, Silvia and I might not ever have talked to each other at this meeting, and others can come and sort of hear a conversation that picks up divergent themes that actually need to overlap.
Yeah. It's sort of a catalyst event.
Well, it is, and if I will, if it's something that I wish that we could do more of, but it's hard, is more of the bigger One Health side of this, because the veterinary side, I think, maybe it's not as represented at ESCMID as it needs to be going forward, but you got to start somewhere, and I think it's cool that we've done that.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of speaking of the One Health, so that there's really working towards the awareness on that factor. Yeah. Well, are there any things that you feel that me or the viewers should know about the upcoming Open Forum?
I think it's going to be come and watch us and participate and interact. It is an opportunity for having your voice heard and collaboratively think about solutions, because diagnostic needs to be brought up in the forefront of the AMR response. And we have to find the best value proposition for diagnostic that is fit for purpose, and see how they can best, help us to address AMR.
Excellent remark.
And if you put it in the bigger context, this is a huge year for AMR, because at the UN General Assembly in September, we're going to have a high-level meeting on antimicrobial resistance. And we had one in 2016. It's a big deal to get a high-level meeting on your topic. And so a lot of this is about the run-up to that conversation. And the Global Leaders Group released a statement that says we need to be doing the build of the diagnostics, in addition to the build of the therapeutics and the national action plans. So this is the summer to get those reports out to support the petition that ESCMID has asked the membership to sign. But we need to put the QR code up for go sign the petition.
Thank you for reminding us.
We need to put that petition QR code up. because the voices of a society like this really, really matter. This is how political leadership knows what's going on, and you've actually got to make noise. So I'm looking forward to everybody signing that petition.
Yeah. Well, and I'm very looking forward to hopefully you both welcoming many people to the Open Forum for, well, setting the stage and working or progressing on this very relevant topic towards the UNGA in September. Thank you both so much for coming here and bringing these very important topics across to our ESCMID Global TV viewers. Thank you all for watching us. Go visit the Open Forum. I'll remind you where it is. It's in Arena 3 at 12:15. So don't miss that. We will be taking a short break here at ESCMID Global TV, but we will be back at 12 sharp with our very popular program element, the Lucky Wheel of Fortune, your opportunity to win some really cool ESCMID prizes. So please, please, please enter through the QR code that is distributed all around the Congress. I saw the posters with the QR code in the bathrooms, so no reason to miss out on that. It will also be on the platform and on the app. So join me here in the studio and let me take a shot for you at winning one of these really cool prizes. Hope to see you at noon.